Michael Myers is here in this town. He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Welcome back. I'm Pat, that Halloween movie collector. This week's Halloween video. Yes, I've been dropping Halloween videos pretty much every week because I don't know. I'm just in a Halloween mode, getting ready for age 45. Well, I'm always in a Halloween mode. Just look around me. And if you didn't check out last week's video, it was a lot of fun. 67 mistakes in the original Halloween, the immortal classic. Go check it out. I'll drop a link up here. That was a lot of fun. But this week I was thinking, you know what? Of course, I was watching through the original Halloween when I was putting that video together, and well, I'm always watching Halloween movies, and I'm just thinking about Donald Pleasence, how great it would be if he was still around, especially age 45 coming around, and how beloved it would be for all the fans to get to meet him. But unfortunately, we lost him back in 1995 at the age of 75. Just actually before they wrapped up filming on Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. So, unfortunately, he lost out on all this fandom for the past 20-some-odd years and conventions, and he would have been in his glory just for that. So, I was thinking, what? Every movie he was in, of course, he was only in Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and albeit he did reuse his famous Myers house speech at the beginning of H2O. But I said, well, and they all have classic Loomis lines, and we're always using those classic lines. So I said, I'm going to pick my favorite lines that he delivered in each of the Halloween movies that he appeared in. Lines, speeches, because he would always give like a little like monologue, a backstory of Myers, and it was always very, just done so well because he was such a great actor. So let's do this. So, of course, from Halloween, 1978, the immortal classic, of course, I'm picking his monologue, his speech inside the Myers house with Sheriff Brackett. That is just the most iconic. Of course, they reused it in H2O. The most iconic speech probably in the entire franchise, and probably one of my favorite moments of the franchise, because the way he delivers the whole backstory of Myers, because he was such a great classically trained actor, just priceless. So here it is.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Halloween 2. A lot of good Loomis lines in this, too, because there's actually more Loomis lines in this. Because he was like pretty much the central focus in this. Because Laurie Strode was all beat up and damaged, from the first movie. So she was basically just laying in a hospital bed. So Loomis was on the hunt trying to find his patient. Shot him 6 times, or 7 times at the beginning of Halloween 2. And he just got up and walked away. And of course, that's the speech I'm talking about, where they just went and they saw Annie's dead body. Brackett gets mad at him, goes off saying, I better go tell my wife before somebody else does. He's telling Deputy Hunt, if that wasn't Michael Myers burned up there, there's going to be a lot of other kids slaughtered tonight. And he's just going on about, an hour ago I shot him 6 times, or actually 7 times in the beginning of H2. And he got up and just walked away. I'm talking about the real possibility that he's still out there. And here it is.
Keep him back. He was my patient for 15 years. It became an obsession with me until I realized that there was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that was even remotely human. An hour ago, I stood up and fired 6 shots into him. He just got up and walked away. I am talking about the real possibility that he is still out there.
Halloween 4. Another one that's got a lot of great Loomis lines in it. So this one wasn't so easy, but I think it was more about the way he delivered it. Now, it's the scene where Loomis goes to Ridgemont, where Loomis gets into it with Dr. Hoffman. Says, why did you let them take it out of here? So, of course, they find out that the ambulance never got there. And, of course, Loomis is running to go to Haddonfield to see what the hell happened. And, of course, Hoffman jumps in with him. And when they're at the crash scene, Hoffman's like, well, Michael could have done all this stuff because even if Michael was alive, his muscles would be useless because he'd been laying around for the past 10 years in a hospital bed in a coma. And Loomis just listens and says, you're talking about him like he's a human being. That part of him died years ago. Just love the way he delivers it because it's just like, you know what, he's like almost like a screw you, a fuck you. Are you serious? After all the shit that happened? Because you got to remember, in this sequel, Halloween 2 existed. So it was that much more of a crazy night. Because you got to remember, 2018, they totally retconned part 2, so that part never happened. So here, there was all that carnage at Haddonfield Memorial. And here's that speech.
You're talking about him as if he were a human being. That part of him died years ago.
Halloween 5. Now there's a lot of good Loomis lines in here. A lot of ones we make fun of because he was pretty much drunk through the whole film. So I mean, just go back and watch it or watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, and you can just tell he's just out of it. He's just lost his mind at this point, as who wouldn't at this point in their life, after you've been chasing this person. So it's got to be, to me, it's the line where they concoct this plan to trap him into coming to the Myers house, and then of course they're going to capture him. So of course he's talking to the Woods after they just had the big chase scene where Myers was chasing after Danielle Harris, and of course it crashes and he gets out. He kills Tina. And they all end up there, and he's out in the woods somewhere, and Dr. Loomis is talking to him. He's like, Michael, go home. The little girl will be there. She can help stop the rage. I don't know why, but I guess it's just a little... Look, Halloween 5 is what it is. It's like the besides Halloween 3 being the black sheep of the family, this is like, I think this is even more of the black sheep of the family, be honest with you. Obviously, 3 has nothing to do with Myers, but... This was just a very different take, needless to say, albeit a guilty pleasure of mine. But here's that speech.
If you want to get rid of this rage, Michael, go home. Go home! Go to your house. I shall be there waiting for you. You'll find her waiting for you.
And we come to Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the last film to feature our beloved Donald Pleasence, because he passed away in 1995, just before it was even they were done wrapping it up. So, and he has a couple of lines in here, nothing too memorable or crazy, but I think the best one is where Dr. Wynn goes to his remote cabin and because he wants to recruit him back to Smith's Grove to work on the Myers case with him. And he looks at me and says, you should know it's not nice to play Halloween pranks on me. Because it's just the way he delivers it. Like, seriously? Are you actually asking me this? Like, now? Right around Halloween time? It's like, seriously? It was just the way he delivered it that I just loved. It's that look on that Donald Pleasence's face when he just delivers it. It's just a great line. Albeit he didn't have to do too many lines in this. That's the one that stands out, and here it is.
Sam, I want you to come back to Smith's Grove.
You should know that it's not wise to play Halloween pranks on me.
It's no prank.
And of course, that was the last film to feature him in, but H2O did open up right when, well, obviously not open up, because at the beginning of H2O was when Nurse Marion gets killed. But the aftermath, just as the detectives are there and they walk out, that's when they go into the beginning of H2O. You see the title card come up, but then for some reason, I've never understood why. I mean, it's the most iconic speech that Donald Pleasence did in this franchise, maybe arguably his career. Why they had a voiceover actor do it, I don't know. Maybe this is a licensing thing? I don't know. Never understood that. They could have just used his voice. Not sure why they did that. But yeah, so it was used in there, and here's a little clip of it.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
There you have it. Those are my favorite lines from Dr. Loomis in the films he appeared in. I didn't include the Rob Zombie ones because I have no problem with them, but I'm just strictly talking about classic, beloved Donald Pleasence, because just the way he delivered those lines were just unbelievable, and it's just iconic what he did for that franchise. And to me, that is the biggest thing missing from the franchise. I know it is what it is. I mean, he was an older gentleman. We're all going to go sometimes. It sucks. But yeah, maybe do something with the Malcom McDowell or the Rob Zombie ones down the road. And he had some good lines in it. And I love Malcom McDowell. I thought he was a fantastic choice. And he was not the problem in any of the Rob Zombie movies. Well, he kind of was in part 2, but that wasn't his fault. He became Dick Loomis, but he basically had to do what was on the script. So I don't fault Malcom McDowell for that. But yeah, I just figured this is Donald Pleasence. He's classic Loomis. So if you like this video, make sure you like it. Go back and check. There's tons of Halloween content on here. Lots of shit, all sorts of shit. There's plenty of shit. You'll be stepping in shit. Go check out all the shit on the channel. It's just not just Halloween. There's all sorts of shit. There you go. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Helps a brother out. Don't cost nothing. Hit that subscribe button, notifications. Drop several videos a week. We do live podcasts every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We do live watch-alongs every Monday night at 8 p.m. All Eastern time because I'm on the East Coast. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Comment below. Let me know your favorite lines of Dr. Loomis from each film. Maybe they were different. That's cool. There's tons of them. It's all subjective. But do me a favor, comment below. Let me know what your favorites are. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.